All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going deep into influencer marketing in Nigeria. You sent over some really interesting stuff about this platform called igotrend.com, and it seems like it could be a game changer, even beyond Nigeria. It might be shaping the whole future of marketing in Africa. So let's unpack this.
Yeah, it really seems like igotrend.com is completely focused on Nigeria, which is interesting. Like, it's not just some global platform trying to squeeze into a different market. This feels built specifically for Nigeria for its unique digital world.
Okay, so before we get too far ahead, can you just break it down for us? What exactly is igotrend.com and what makes it stand out?
Well, basically, igotrend.com is this AI-powered influencer marketing platform. But the way it does things is what's really catching attention. I mean, think of it as like a super efficient matchmaker, you know? It uses algorithms to connect brands with influencers who are the perfect fit for their campaigns.
So no more just hoping for the best. This is about precision.
Exactly, precision. We're talking about analyzing everything from an influencer's niche, their audience, even their engagement patterns, and make sure a brand's message is getting to the right people, which means a bigger impact.
I see. So it's not just about how many followers someone has, but how does this AI matchmaking actually work in the real world?
Well, early data from brands using igotrend.com shows that their return on investment is way higher than with traditional advertising, sometimes even 300% higher. And that's because they're reaching this really engaged audience that trusts the influencer's recommendations.
300%. Wow, that's impressive. So it's not just a theory, it's actually working.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely delivering. And beyond the AI stuff, igotrend.com is tackling some of the big problems in influencer marketing. Like, they have secure payments with an automated escrow system and digital contracts.
Oh, so they're addressing that lack of trust and transparency that can be a problem.
Exactly. Both brands and influencers know they'll be treated fairly and everything will be efficient. No more chasing payments or worrying about someone disappearing.
It sounds like they're really serious about making influencer marketing in Nigeria more professional.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. And then they take it a step further with all the data they provide. They offer these real-time performance analytics and not just the basic stuff.
So it's not just about likes and follows. What else are we talking about here?
Well, brands can see things like website clicks, conversions, even sentiment analysis. It gives them a really detailed view of how their campaigns are doing, and they can adjust things in real time.
So it's not just setting up a campaign and forgetting about it. It's constantly learning and optimizing.
Right. igotrend.com gives brands and influencers the tools and data they need to be successful. It's a huge change from the kind of unpredictable world of traditional influencer marketing.
Okay, so we've got this sophisticated platform, but let's get down to the benefits. What's in it for the brands and the influencers themselves? Let's start with the brands. What are some of the key advantages they get by partnering with igotrend.com?
Well, think of it this way. Instead of, spending weeks looking through all these influencer profiles, brands can use igotrend.com's network, which is like carefully vetted. It's like having a talent agency that specializes in finding the perfect influencer right at your fingertips.
So it's not just saving time, it's also about making sure the influencers are high quality.
Oh, yeah, definitely. igotrend.com has standards. They make sure every influencer on the platform is professional and authentic. So brands know they're working with people who actually resonate with their audience with real, credible voices.
And speaking of audiences, doesn't igotrend.com also help brands reach those niche communities that are hard to reach with regular ads?
That's one of the big advantages. Imagine you have a local business or a brand targeting a very specific group of people. Instead of just sending out a general message, they can use igotrend.com to connect with, those micro-influencers who have a strong following within those communities.
Okay, so access to a curated group of influencers and the ability to reach those niche audiences, that's great. What other benefits are there?
Well, there's also the cost effectiveness. One of the problems with traditional advertising is that you don't always know what you're getting for your money.
You mean with igotrend.com, the data shows you exactly what's happening?
Exactly. Brands can see how their campaigns are performing, in real time, how their investment is turning into engagement, leads, and sales. And influencer marketing tends to be more targeted and authentic. So it often leads to a much higher return on investment compared to those general advertising methods.
It sounds like igotrend.com is more than just a platform. It's like a whole new way of thinking about marketing.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're pushing brands to move away from that old interruption marketing and towards engagement marketing. It's about creating content that people actually enjoy, content that adds value. And that's where influencers are really powerful.
Because people trust recommendations from people they follow, more than just some company they don't know.
Exactly. And igotrend.com makes it easier for brands to tap into that trust and authenticity. Now, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the influencers. What about the creators who are using igotrend.com? What's in it for them?
Yeah, good point. Let's talk about that.
Well, first of all, it gives them a real way to make money from what they love. It's not just about getting free stuff anymore. It's about building a career as an influencer with fair pay and real contracts.
So no more chasing down payments or worrying about getting scammed.
That's the idea. igotrend.com wants to make things more professional and reliable for both brands and influencers.
And aside from the money, wouldn't this also be a great way for influencers to grow their personal brands?
Absolutely. By working with good brands on big campaigns, influencers can reach more people. It can build credibility in their niche and become thought leaders.
It's like a win-win. The more successful you are, the more attractive you become to other brands.
Exactly. And with igotrend.com's data and analytics, influencers can see how they're doing. They can refine their approach and, really get better at what they do. They can learn a lot about what works for their audience and use that to make even better content.
So igotrend.com is creating a good situation for everyone. Brands get access to great influencers. Influencers can make money and build their brand. And consumers see content that's more interesting and relevant to them.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario. But it goes beyond that. When you look at the big picture, igotrend.com's impact is much bigger than just connecting brands and influencers. They're actually changing the whole digital marketing landscape in Nigeria.
Okay, tell me more. How are they doing that?
Well, one way is that they're making influencer marketing accessible to everyone, not just big companies.
You mean smaller businesses can use it too?
Exactly. It's no longer just for the big players with tons of money for marketing. This opens up so many possibilities for entrepreneurs and small businesses who couldn't afford traditional marketing.
I can see how that would be huge for Nigeria's economy, especially with all the young entrepreneurs out there.
Absolutely. It gives them a chance. And this also empowers local creators. It gives them more ways to make a living doing what they love, which helps build a stronger creator economy in Nigeria.
So it's not just about marketing and about economic empowerment and helping culture grow.
It really is. And then there's the impact on transparency and trust. By focusing on secure payments and contracts, igotrend.com is making the whole influencer marketing industry more professional. It's helping to build a more ethical and reliable system.
So they're trying to change that image of influencer marketing being all about freebies and shady deals.
Exactly. They're raising the bar for everyone and encouraging people to be more professional and accountable.
And we can't forget about all the data igotrend.com is providing.
Right. They're encouraging brands and influencers to make better decisions, to track their results and keep getting better. This data-driven way of thinking is so important for success in the digital world. It helps build a stronger and more effective marketing environment for everyone.
So igotrend.com isn't just a platform, it's a whole movement. They're changing how marketing works in Nigeria, and it seems like everyone benefits.
I think that's a good way to put it. And I think it's just the start. As more brands and influencers embrace this data-driven approach, we'll probably see a ripple effect across all of Africa.
It sounds like the future of marketing in Africa is looking pretty bright with igotrend.com leading the way.
I think so too. And for our listener, the key takeaway is that igotrend.com shows us what marketing might look like in the future.
It's like a glimpse into a world where marketing is less about interrupting people and more about making connections, where brands and consumers can have a relationship that benefits both sides. This is really exciting stuff, but let's make it practical for our listener. What does all this mean for someone who's maybe thinking about trying out influencer marketing, whether they're a brand or an influencer?
Well, I think the main thing is that the game is changing. Those old ways of doing things, relying on instinct and just reaching out randomly, they're not working as well anymore. igotrend.com shows that things are moving towards a more strategic, data-driven approach.
So even if you're not in Nigeria or using that platform, these ideas are still important.
Absolutely, yeah. Whether you're a brand trying to use influencer marketing or an influencer building your brand, understanding these principles is essential.
It makes you wonder, is this kind of hyper-targeted, data-driven approach the future of all marketing, not just influencer marketing? Can we see these same ideas applied to other types of advertising?
That's a really interesting question. Imagine if every single ad you saw was tailored to your interests, your needs, what you like. No more annoying ads that you don't care about, just content that actually speaks to you.
That sounds amazing, but is it really possible?
It's a tough challenge, for sure, but I don't think it's impossible. Technology is always getting better. We're gathering more data and improving our algorithm all the time. Who knows what we'll be able to do in the future?
So maybe not perfect, but definitely a future that's worth exploring.
Exactly. And for anyone who's interested in how marketing is evolving, igotrend.com is a great example to watch. They're trying new things, pushing the limits, and showing us what might be possible for the industry.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired. I'm ready to throw out the old marketing rulebook and embrace this data-driven approach.
Me too, yeah. And I think that's the best part of this deep dive, you know? It's not just about learning about one specific platform, it's about getting new ideas. It makes us think differently about how we connect with each other in this digital world.
That's a great point. A big thanks to our listener for sending us this fascinating material, and to you for sharing your expertise and helping us understand it all.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive has left you feeling informed and inspired, maybe even a little bit challenged. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.